Hey, it looks like we are live, according to the
Woo!
Google Hangout. Yay! Hey, Vicky. Vicky's here.
Yay, Vicky. It isn't on YouTube yet.
Yay.
Get there.
Okay, there. All is well.
There it goes. There it goes.
Oh,
Woo.
hi. We're all alive. This is good.
Okay, there. Now my kid knows not to text me unless it's important.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm hoping that Andrew has remembered to not be on the interwebs right now. Alive is good. I agree, Vicky. Indeed. Yeah. Especially poor Gwen Eiffel. I just heard that Gwen Eiffel passed away yesterday, and I was very sad.
I saw that yesterday, yeah.
Yeah. I like her. My boys liked her voice, so that was very sad news. It's like David Bowie and then this. We have our priorities.
Yes, there's much. Are we declaring this a politics-free zone, by the way?
I think that's probably wise.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not going to declare it a yawn-free zone, though, because I can't sleep enough. There aren't enough drugs in the world.
I hear you.
Ay, Gewalt. Anyway, I also have been completely lacking in craftiness except for finishing the mitt.
Ooh, dragon scales.
Yeah, well, I have to show you this because what happened was, so we got the dragon scales thing going, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then I found that there's this issue that's going on here. So I'm going to have to go in and tack some of these little puppies down. And in fact, I made the bottom row much, much longer, bigger, taller, faster, stronger to keep it, to give it a better chance of that. But the other thing is I did what I thought was correct. So it was 3 and 2, 3 double crochets, and then 2 regular crochets, and then 3 double crochets to go around on the bottom. But it really didn't stretchify itself properly, and so you can see it's pretty loose. Yeah. I would have brought it down even further. What this actually is 3 double crochets and then nothing, and then another 3 double crochets. There's no extra chaining in between, and that worked.
That pulls it in. I get it.
That worked a little bit better. I think it's actually focusing okay today. And then I did a little picot trim on it, which was also interesting because it's a bunch of chain stitches and then 2 where I stitched into the edge, and then another gazillion chain stitches. That's like 7 or 8 chains that I put in there just to get a little tiny bump, and then had it go back into the same hole. But I showed thing 2, and he said, "For me?" I said, "Yes, better be good." So now he has
the best kind of reactions.
Yeah,
those are great.
He's got the incentive thing going for him now, so that's been good. I was very happy, very relieved, very
nice.
And that's pretty much been it, because, well, part of it was this is as far as I got, and I'm partway into the next one, but which isn't bad.
Good way the next one.
Yeah, it's not too bad, and I've been able to replicate more or less what I did. But the thing that happened was I ripped out from the thumb down. I ripped the whole thing back 4-5 times, where I'd gotten all the way down to the cuff or lower before I realized it just wasn't sitting right, and I had to tweak it. This is what happens when I don't buy a pattern.
So you're trying to reverse engineer is what you're doing.
From a photograph, yeah, which is kind of asking for trouble, but it's pretty, I think, maybe. But yeah, I also went to a girls' night out sleepover.
Ooh, sleepover no less.
I know. I've met my people here in New Hope, Pennsylvania, and the it's a bunch of moms who all have really interesting, creative, funky kids, and we we all met each other, I think, at Halloween, and then got together for coffee last week, and they said, "Oh, we need to have a sleepover," and everybody else said, "Oh, what a great idea! Yeah, let's do that this Saturday night." Okay, and I just kind of sat there and went, "They can't be serious." It, when was the last time? When was the last time you had a sleepover with adults? No, they're totally serious. I think it's a Pennsylvania thing.
Awesome.
Yeah, yeah.
Fun.
We sat around, drank wine, talked about kids, watched silly movies. Nothing changes.
Awesome. Was it at somebody's house or did you book
Yeah.
rooms at a hotel?
Oh no, it was at somebody's house, and I think it they kind of rotate around. But they're all just lovely, interesting, creative people. Um, one of them does musical theater, and we were talking about, oh, the kids show at school this year is Into the Woods, and I had said something about that being nuts to do Into the Woods Junior with a bunch of junior high school kids, because it's, Sondheim is not easy. And one of the other parents said, "Oh, really? Is it really that hard?" And I said, "Well, I mean, one page of Sweeney Todd, not the orchestral page, but the actual singing page. It's like an 11 by 17 sheet of paper the long way with all of the parts, because that's how many parts there are going at once." And our hostess said, "Oh, I know, I was in Sweeney Todd a couple years back." And I went, "Oh, because you just sing Sondheim
Sure.
semi-professionally."
It's something you do. It's normal.
Yeah, it is in New Hope. But yeah, Vicky, I know if I weren't me, I would have been jealous too, because they were really, really nice people. So it just means you're going to have to visit. Come to New Hope, hang out with us. It'll all be good. But it
That
was
would
fun.
be one of these days. For the listeners or watchers, you may not realize Heather and I have actually never met in person.
It's true.
We've corresponded for I don't know how many years now, 8, something like that.
Yeah, 8 or
And
9.
we've never gotten to meet in person.
Yeah. No, the last 8 months have been the most time we've spent actually talking with each other ever.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's been great.
It absolutely. It feels like I get to see you all the time.
Yeah.
It's just not, where I can give you a hug.
Virtual. Nah.
So, well, I have a small amount of craftiness.
Cool. Do
Okay,
tell.
so you remember these that I made for my mom.
Oh, yes.
So I made a red one. I don't know if you can
Ooh.
see that it's got little Tweety blips. Looks like that's focused. Little Tweety blips. So
Ooh.
that's what my mom's getting for her birthday. Is she's getting those 3. Since the
Mom.
dog attacked the yarn that was supposed to be for her socks.
How is Doggy?
Doggy is good. She's squishing Sarah on her bed at the moment. She was crying outside Sarah's door, and it was late enough. I figured it was okay to open the door. And squishing Sarah at the moment.
So Sarah's getting a honey squish.
She's getting a honey squish, and I made progress on the socks.
Ooh.
I've turned the heels.
Wow.
Gone just a little past, and I love the way that the colors are coming out.
Those look great.
And it's just your basic Patton's Croy FX.
It looks great.
$7 skein, $6 or $7 skein sock yarn.
Did you do a short row heel or Sherman heel?
Basic short row heel, yeah. Nothing fancy. I wanted to just be able to crank it out.
Yeah.
So there's that. And I was hoping Tara would be here today, but she doesn't appear to be. She's either not here or she's lurking. I thought of her this morning because we're having chili again for dinner. I'm making chili for everybody.
Awesome.
And I posted a picture on Instagram with all the ingredients
Oh, smart.
sitting right there. Though the one disclaimer is I wasn't able to put in the diced green chilies because for some reason cans of diced green chilies don't work well with my can opener, no matter what brand they are.
Really?
Something about the can is weird, and it doesn't. It They just don't like each other. I can't get it open. So if I add them, it won't be till after Andrew gets home, because he is able to get the cans open. I cannot.
I like it.
So, and the only other semi-crafty thing I have, and I showed Heather this earlier, is I've discovered some of the cheapo clothing websites, newchic.com, dresslily.com, and you get what you pay for. It's not high quality stuff, but I got this top, which from the website I thought was knit, and it makes sense for it to be a heavy knit fabric, but it's not. It's woven. And I don't know how well I can show it, but it's long sleeves, and they call it a mini dress, but I'm sorry, it's a tunic.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a dress that only goes to, I'm not Uhura. I'm not wearing a dress that only goes to mid-thigh. It's just not gonna. And up close, I will show that you can see the appliques.
That's what I think is amazing.
And it's not even fancy appliques. It's not, it's certainly not Alabama chainin or anything.
Right.
They're just long strips of fabric that are sewed down. But it's my color. It's orange. Not too many people can wear screaming loud orange.
It's coming across as almost a poppy red on my screen. I don't know what it's coming across.
Yeah, it's more orange. It's orange.
Cool.
And so I just, it's something other than my usual plain solid color shirt.
Right.
So hopefully Andrew won't take one look at me and laugh. So we'll see.
If he does, I can take him for you.
So, well, except, he is the source of pulled pork and
Oh,
such.
well, that's true. You have to put up with a certain amount of putting up with.
And he's usually right too. So if he thinks it looks silly, it probably looks silly.
Yeah.
But I have a dress that I wish he had told me when I first got it that he didn't like it, because I would have returned it.
Oh, he waited too long to say anything?
I don't know if you remember, it might have been in the late 80s. There were these commercials, and I don't even remember what they were commercials for. But it was when Russia was the old Russia.
Yeah.
Right? And it showed what was supposed to be a fashion show in Russia, and these ladies, it would say evening wear, swim wear, and it was always these just drab uniform prison garb kind of things.
I do remember that. I don't remember what they were selling though.
And Andrew says the dress looks like that. So yeah, I didn't think so at all, but
I don't know how I feel about this.
I think the bottom line is he doesn't like me in things without a defined waist. I think that's what it is.
Okay.
Because I have another dress that he didn't like, but then he liked it better when I put a belt on it. So
well, okay. But still, that's a pretty.
But I saved the tag from this shirt because it is a hilarious example of English, right? English with an R. The
Yes.
one, wash separately, separately, it's an L instead of a T, and always wash inside. 2, pay attention when you sit you on light colored surfaces.
Wow.
Be careful with light clothes, i.e. underwear, body.
I like that.
And what I took from this was, careful, it's gonna run. So when
I
I
think
washed it, I threw in one of those color catchers, and I forgot to grab that out of the dryer when I grabbed the shirt, but it's just soaked in red. So I will always have to wash it carefully.
Where did you get
So
your color grabber?
I think I got them online because they're hard to find in stores.
Yeah, that's why I was asking.
I'm 97% sure I got it from Amazon.
Huh. Cool.
And the only other real thing going on around here is tonight
Yeah.
in theaters for a one night only encore. Benedict Cumberbatch as Hamlet. Abby and I are going. It's 195 minutes long.
All right.
It's going to go way past my bedtime, but
it's going to be awesome. And part of the reason I can tell you that is because on Sunday, Thing 2 and I went and saw Benedict Cumberbatch in Frankenstein.
Oh, cool.
With Johnny Lee Miller. And it's the one where they were switching the roles back and forth.
Oh, wow.
Wow. Wow. Wow. Yeah. Just wow.
That's
I've never
cool.
seen anything like it before. And it's Danny Boyle who did Slumdog Millionaire and Trainspotting.
Oh, uh-huh.
So incredible as far as like the set design went and the way that they created this world without actually having to create a world. But those two guys at the end, the last scene, you know, we did it, I don't know, 1,000 years ago on CraftLit, but there's that frame story of Victor being on the ship and he's pursuing the creature across like the frozen wastes eventually. And they actually ended the play there, where the creature thinks that Victor has died, and so he's you know, holding on to him and mourning the passing of this love-hate existence that they've had with each other. And Victor comes to, and it's that kind of you complete me moment, and you think, oh, finally, you know, after everything that they've lost, after all that they've been through, Victor's finally going to acknowledge the creature as a living, breathing
person.
Yeah, something with a soul, you know, an actual person. And and he kind of does, and then he says, all right, get moving, because now I have to hunt you down and kill you.
Jeez.
And the monster picks up and heads off, waiting to be pursued. And it was heartbreaking. They were so good. If anybody has a chance to see it, we saw, they have the A-B cast. We saw the A cast, which was Cumberbatch as the creature and Johnny Lee Miller as Victor. And at first I thought, oh, I'd rather see Cumberbatch as Victor. And the answer is no.
Yeah, it's probably hard. The creature is probably a harder role.
I think so. And the creature is certainly the most compelling, and has the first almost 40 minutes all on his own on stage.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And that takes you up through the creature staying with the DeLacy family with the blind man and learning how to read and how to think and all that stuff. And oh my God. So I cannot wait to hear how your Hamlet goes.
Well, apparently Abby was looking into it, and apparently when it happened live on stage in London, the tickets sold out in record time, literally record time, faster
Hamilton
than
time.
performance on stage in London ever.
Yeah, it was Hamilton time.
So, I gotta really caffeinate myself well, and purposely dressed comfortably if I'm gonna have to sit in a theater for that long. And
yes, wear sweats.
And Abby's French teacher has already seen it, and she said there is an intermission.
Good.
But no, you know what I'm wearing? What are you wearing? I'm wearing leggings.
Dun,
I haven't worn leggings in like 16 years, but now apparently Abby, Sarah, and I are all sharing this one pair of leggings because we can all fit into them. So
that's awesome.
I am wearing Abby's leggings and a long sweater, hopefully not too much of my butt hanging out.
But, well, you'll be in a seat, so.
And I think her English honors teacher is going to come too.
Oh, good.
Because Abby told her first she lent her booklet from the Oregon Shakespeare Festival from this year because she thought she'd want to look through it. Mm-hmm. And then Abby told her, oh, and by the way, tomorrow night, my mom and I are going to go see Benedict Cumberbatch's Hamlet at the theater. She dropped what she was holding and was like, oh my gosh, I love him. So she's going to go too, which would be really fun. So
that's great.
And she did appreciate that the Tom Lehrer Oedipus song. I sent her she appreciated it. I know Vicky might remember it came up in conversation last week. So I sent it to her and she was quite, oh no, excuse me, appreciative.
We're trying to hook up the high school English teacher that Thing One has this year with Erin Ziegler, because she's actually used Chop Bard with kids before.
Oh, nice.
Yep. So I'm working her.
Oh, cool. That would be very cool.
It would be.
So I feel like I'm very boring this week. I don't really have much else to report. It's going to be our anniversary on Saturday, 21 years.
Way to go. Well done.
We're finally going to use these discount tickets for the Palace of the Legion of Honor Museum, which for those not from San Francisco, the big thing of distinction that they have is out in front, they have the thinker, like the real thing, the one that Rodin made. The thinker is in the front courtyard, and of course they have a lot of other stuff, but that's kind of their big claim to fame. Plus they're in this part of the city that has just ridiculous gorgeous views and stuff. So we're gonna go there, and then in the spirit of it being our 21st anniversary, we're going to a place called 21st Amendment for dinner, which is a brew pub, right? 21st Amendment. It's the one that repealed prohibition. So thank you, Vicky, for the anniversary wishes. So we're gonna go there. And it'll be low key, but that's fine. That's fine. Some years you make a big hoopla, some years it's low key. This year's low key. And the next week is, of course, Thanksgiving. Are we recording next week? We're not.
No, we have a couple weeks off.
Okay.
Yep.
And
which will give me time to do some knitting or something.
Do some knitting, and for me to have a birthday, because my birthday's on Thanksgiving.
That's right. Happy almost birthday.
Yes.
It's very
Yes, I
exciting.
have to come up with a rhyme for this year because 50 was nifty 50.
Ooh.
51 was 50 wonderful. I got to come up with something for 52. So
All right.
that's a
I'm
very
on it.
very weird number. So,
Yeah.
um,
Hmm.
so if you great minds of the craftlit world come up with some kind of fun slogan for 52, that would be great. Would be much appreciated.
I will keep thinking. Oh, in the meantime, the other thing to do is we went and saw the movie Arrival, which
I
I
haven't heard of that one.
no, neither had I. The boys saw a preview for it, I don't know, in front of some movie that they went and saw with their dad. I had no idea what I was getting myself into. It is Amy Adams, who is great,
Mm-hmm.
and oh, what's his face, who plays Hawkeye in the Avengers movies?
Oh, Jeremy Renner.
Yes, who I love, and he was great, and several other people, including Michael Stuhlbarg, who went to UCLA with us, and who's been showing up in more and more and more
Drop the
stuff.
names. Drop the names.
I know. I just have to drop Stuhlbarg. He's he was in the Coen Brothers, A Serious Man. He was the lead in that, and then he's the alien with the back of his head missing in the third Men in Black movie, and he was on Boardwalk Empire. I think he was Bugsy, not Bugsy Siegel. He's the guy who looks like Edward G. Robinson in
Bugsy Malone.
no, not Bugsy Malone. Oh my gosh, I used to watch that. He played Edward G. Robinson actually in Trumbo, and he's all over the place now. But he was just Michael at UCLA, and he was the guy who played Romeo in Romeo and Juliet that totally changed my entire feeling towards that play. And because of him, he was spectacular. And then he left UCLA to go to Juilliard, and now he's famous guy in the movie. But the movie is it's an alien movie. Aliens show up,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
not anything like any alien movie I've ever seen before. It centers on a linguist, which is Amy Adams, and a physicist, who's Jeremy Renner. And how do you learn to communicate with an alien species? So because if you are communicating with somebody who is on the planet, even an animal, there are certain givens. You have
Right.
ways to make certain sounds.
You have a starting point with an alien.
Absolutely. And even with animals, there are certain assumptions you can make about sounds that are happy sounds or growls or warning sounds. And you have things like, ears going forward and all that kind of stuff. You got nothing when you're dealing with an alien life form at all. And I see Barbara Altman, yes. Or I have a feeling they read some Orson Scott Card, because there were a few bells that rang in my head um, that were cardy. And it was beautiful and quiet. It was the quietest alien movie I've ever seen, but it was quiet, not in that kind of Sigourney Weaver with the breathing apparatus and you're waiting
Right.
for the jump scare. It was just quiet and beautiful, just beautiful. I really, really enjoyed it. And the thing that's surprising about all of that is that the boys loved it.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Well, maybe
Makes
we'll
you
have to.
think.
I
Yeah.
think I might have some movie vouchers somewhere. So
Yeah. And the movie is called Arrival, and the thing that I didn't know, halfway through the film, I started thinking this has to be based on a book, and it isn't. It's based on a short story, and
oh,
that made a certain amount of sense. And it's not, the short story isn't called Arrival. I can look it up, but I think it makes a lot of sense because there are things in the film that, how short stories are kind of one main plot point or one really main character. You don't have a whole lot in the way of subplots
One
and things like that.
single arc, not intersecting arcs. Yeah.
Yeah. It doesn't feel like it's a single arc at first, but it is. And by the end, you kind of go, oh, yeah, that was a short story. That makes perfect sense.
I see.
It's beautifully, beautifully done.
You just reminded me of a short story we read. Gosh, I swear we read it in 6th grade, but it really impacted me. It was a short story that got made into a Twilight Zone episode.
Whoa.
It's about these people who land on an alien planet. Idea of how basically about beauty is in the eye of the beholder. The aliens are hideous.
Right.
And this woman that's with them is beautiful, but the aliens think she's hideous. And
is that the one with the pig faces?
The what?
Like pig faces?
That might have been how they did it on Twilight Zone, but I don't even know how to look it up.
Because I remember the
remember
the Twilight Zone episode, "Beauty is in the Eye of the Beholder," because that's the first one I ever saw.
But it just and if I remember right, they stoned somebody to death. So, but I may be getting conflating different stories. But now I'm gonna have to go on a search for that. I mean, it's a very 1970s thing to have 6th graders read, I guess.
Right.
But that just reminded me of that when you said that, when you were talking about the story. And the other update, they're doing much better.
Did you get to see a physical therapist?
I see the therapist tomorrow, but the anti-inflammatories are amazing. They have helped so much. It's crazy.
Awesome.
So of the two, the pinky is the one that hurts more than the index finger. But yeah, I'm gonna go see I don't think I'm gonna need to go for 6 appointments with the therapist. But then again, if my insurance will cover it, maybe I will.
Yeah, seriously, go.
Sarah, she forgot about Crafty Chat because she was cleaning puke out of her car's back seat.
I just saw that.
So that is really rough. Oh, yeah. Hello, crickets. So anyhow, I think that's it. I'm scanning my messy area.
I know. Oh, I have a book recommendation. I haven't read the whole series yet, but it has gotten my 12-year-old very interested. It's a series by a guy. The first book in the series is called The Uglies or Uglies. It's by Eric somebody. I can look this up too.
I've heard of that.
It's very interesting. And for YA fiction, I thought it's interesting enough that I can't tell what's Scott. I can't tell where it's going, which
that's good.
Like I've been really impressed because there are things that make you say, "Oh, Brave New World," or there are things that make you say, "Oh, it's this trope," and then he turns it on its ear and you go, or not. So that's been that's been fun.
Cool.
Oh, Tara, I'm so sorry, and I'm so sorry for your little woman. Oh, poor baby. That just stinks.
Drag.
Yeah, very much drag.
Well, I don't. One time that it was red Slurpee. So.
Oh yeah. Well, red flavor.
Yeah. Yeah.
And now, Tara, I don't have anything else. You show up, you
I
and
was
Cricket show up, and I'm like,
leaving.
done.
Sorry.
Meh. What did you had said that something at the beginning about hoping that Tara was going to be here because you had something.
Oh yeah, Tara, I thought of you this morning because we're having chili tonight as I was putting together um, a pot of Mama Erica's extra meaty chili with pulled pork. And but I posted a picture. I know Tara follows me on Instagram. I put a picture on Instagram with all the ingredients. Normally I would also add cayenne pepper, but I used the last of it last time. So maybe I'll sneak in some red pepper flakes. But anyhow, that's all the excitement around here.
Yep, I know we're pretty dull too. And ooh, Vicky, I'm glad your friend's daughter liked it. I'm still fascinated. I'm only about 2/3 of the way through it, so I'm still not sure where it's going to end up, but I've been enjoying it. And yes, I know my reading list I've got growing to approach the cold winter because we've been getting weather lately. It's kind of making me a little nervous, so I'm not sure what's going to happen this winter, but I imagine
So
it'll
you
be
don't want to
here.
know that our high today is 59.
59 actually sounds kind of warm.
That's what I mean. It's
Yeah.
probably.
No, it's nice. It's nice to know that some place has weather like that, Erica.
Yes, but we also have a to go with it. It's
Well, that's
supposed to be raining. It's supposed to be raining lots, and it's not. Though it is supposed to rain Saturday morning, which is really makes me happy because I love, love, love the rain.
yeah.
So I'll be very happy if it rains on Saturday for our anniversary, and if it rains on my birthday.
That makes a lot of sense. And that weather made me think of something. Weather made me think, oh, uh we have listeners in New Zealand. And
Oh, right.
yeah, and as far as our Facebook group goes, I saw them check in, and so everybody who we know, everybody who's in contact with us, said that they're okay. But I was hoping that Toshi was going to show up in the chat window at 2 o'clock, and she hasn't. So I am I'm hopeful that they are still all okay because
Yeah.
I know there've been aftershocks, and that's very scary. That they just keep getting nailed. It's not good.
No.
Make me nervous, having lived through many earthquakes. Only one scared me, but that was enough. That one did it.
Same with me. The only one scared me. Which was your scary one?
My scary one was the Southern California. It was the Northridge quake. It was the last quake I was there for, and all of the other
That's what.
quakes that I'd been in. Yeah, that all of the quakes I'd been in as a kid, all the ground went like that. And the
Mhm.
Northridge quake was the first one I'd been in that went like that. And
Uh,
it's a
uh,
completely different thing because this way, the doors might shudder a little bit. The floor, it's like surfing. You're just kind of standing up and keeping your balance. But when the floor goes like that, you get knocked off balance really, really easily. And the worst part was people wound up with lots of broken fingers because they stood in doorways and doors
oh,
slammed on their hands and then were stuck because the jam got jammed, which
oh,
is
ouch.
both unpleasant and scary. And yeah, that was the last one I didn't move right after that. It was just it worked out that way. But I kind of felt like I'm done. And now thing one is talking about wanting to go to Cal Arts, which is in California.
You know, there's wherever you go, there's something.
I know.
Whether it's tornadoes or earthquakes or fires in the summer
No,
or
it's
what.
true.
It's just
It's true. It's true. I mean, right now we're in a pretty ideal area just because we're not close to the Delaware, but the Delaware and New Hope floods badly. But it's not because the Delaware floods, it's because New York State has a reservoir right across the border, and they're supposed to keep the reservoir at 80%, and they don't. They keep it at 100%. So the second a big rain starts, they open the floodgates. And so you get a wall of water coming down the Delaware River, and it's really shallow here. Like I think I've said it before, I could walk across to New Jersey. I would hit probably 10 or 11 feet deep in the middle, so I'd swim for a little while. But mostly you can walk across to New Jersey until New York releases the water, and then it goes up by 30 feet.
Wow.
Which is terrifying. Yeah. So, but we don't live close to the river, so you're
good.
Yeah.
Well, my only scary earthquake was the 1989 earthquake.
Oh my gosh, you were there for the Nimitz Freeway one.
Oh yeah.
Where were you?
Like, a minute or two after 5, so I was getting ready to leave work, and it's the only time I've ever gone and stood in a doorway for an earthquake. And I was downtown, so I was on landfill, and I was in a building that was built on rollers, specifically because of earthquakes. So we really felt it.
What floor were you on?
I was only on the 3rd floor, but I knew people who were on like the 9th and stuff, and it was just really scary.
I'll bet a lot of people got clocked because they fell over. Because you can't be on the 9th floor on a roller building and not have you're going to get thrown.
Yeah, people were, it was really interesting to see people that were normally these sharp, collected, professional people freaking out.
Yeah.
This one attorney, I was working for a law firm. This one attorney was practically in tears. She was just freaking out.
I'll bet. Well, buildings aren't supposed to do that.
Yeah, out by the ocean, so I lived basically as far away from downtown as you possibly could live in the city, and we lived out so far that in my apartment our only damage was a broken lampshade.
Wow.
That was it.
Wow.
So I don't remember if we even lost power. If we did, it was for a very short time. Whereas, I had friends living in the Mission who were without power and water for days.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
we were watching, I was at a friend's house. We were watching the World Series, so we watched it live. And it's scary to watch those things. Well, I suppose it's like 9/11, you're watching something unfold in real time in front of you.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything. You can't help. You can't go pick somebody up. You can't, there's nothing you can do. You just watch. And they had footage of the freeway really fast. And that was before the cell phone camera thing.
And I had a coworker actually who was in Marine Corps Reserves, and he was on his way to his reserve duty in a van of guys on the Bay Bridge.
Oh my good God.
When it happened, and they helped rescue people.
Bless
from
them.
The collapsing and accident and everything.
Holy smoke.
So,
I think it's too bad Dawn's stuck today in an administrative meeting. Otherwise she'd be here. Trust me, I think she'd much rather be here. But I think we have to ask her next time she's on. I think her husband was on the bridge that collapsed in Minneapolis right before the collapse. So like he gets off the bridge and can see crazy happening in his rear view. I think.
Holy cow.
If it wasn't her husband, it was another listener. Because I remember hearing about it right after. And it's just crazy. Crazy.
Yeah.
Nate,
don't mess with it.
So let's not have any of those things happen to us this week.
Let's not.
I vote no.
Crafty and have plenty to report.
Yeah.
Our next get together.
We will have plenty to be thankful about with each other shortly.
Yes.
Yes, indeed. All right. Well, have a good week. And Tara and Crooked and Vicky and we have a couple other people who I haven't seen. Um, have a I know not enough Debbie Downers.
Sorry about the Debbie Downers. Yes.
Go see The Arrival. It'll make you feel better.
I'm
But
gonna
have a
go see
great.
him. So.
Yeah, you go see Hamlet, and I'll go see about lunch.
Ooh, it's late for you. Yeah, you better.
It is. It is. It's probably more like 11 Z's. I woke up really early to get some writing done and ate then. So I think I've had two breakfasts and now I'll have a lunch. So that's good.
Crazy. All right.
It'll be a
I will
habit.
see you soon.
Awesome. Have a great
Bye.
day, everyone. Have a great week.